Kare narang nugro adingare balgal benjanan adingare maranda nagara anara nagara paraba nagara nangare Ayawara karapa dagan dingare dingare nangare yo jingale welcome to the Laura Street Festival. My name is Derek Oram Sandy. I'm one of many traditional Aboriginal people of the country that we gather on, of the Yagara people here. My great-great-grandfather was the traditional leader of this country. He was Bilum, the place of Bilumbar, the place of the Kiwi, not too far from this country here. And I'm welcoming the good spirit to us as we all join here on country to share story between one another, to empower each other in the good spirit that we all hold inside as we are here in the Laura Street Festival. So I thank Sister there, Ellie, for reaching out to me and giving me the opportunity to share on behalf of the Yagara people today and the Sandy family, and to welcome everyone into this country. Very traditional place here. We are in the high country area. There's a park up on the Highgate Hill area, which is the highest point in this region, this area. There's a place called Gaia Park. Gaia Park is right next to the new high school that's being built there. In that place, Gaia represents the spear, and the spear was made and used by the young boys, the young men in that area. So Gaia Park, that's where the young boys were taken and they were put through Aboriginal men's ceremony in the country, in the land. When you look from Gaia Park towards St. Lucia area, you see the lower country of the St. Lucia area where the fields are and where the main busway goes over. That busway follows a traditional crossing path on the river from that part of the river of St. Lucia over to Highgate Hill, because it's the lowest area to cross the river. Over here, the place where the bridges are today, same thing. Gardens Point, Milgonton, the place of my great-great-grandfather John Bungaree, where he was born in 1859, in the early times. They would walk on the low tide, the water's real low, across the sandbar, over to where they have the boat museum today. So there's many stories of how our people use this country and utilise this country in a sustainable way, and working with the country and the land. The St. Lucia area was the traditional spearing place for the mullet fish, and the mullet fish season is shown to us by the wattle tree, the black wattle, the acacia, which we call kurakao, and that flowers around that coming into the winter time, and it lets us know that the mullet fish are at their fattest, and we would eat those mullet fish and catch those mullet fish on that lower river's bend, because they would use drag nets, one drag net on either side, and they would push the fish to the centre in the river's bend and only take what they need in order to survive. Never took too much, only took what we needed for that time, because mullet fish, winter it gets cold. When you eat mullet fish, the blood of the mullet fish and the oils thicken up your blood, make you warm. That's why we ate it, certain foods for certain times of the seasons of the year. Wollongabba represents the swirling water and the water action in the river. The old creek that used to be there before they built the main road on top. Kangaroo Point is called that place, Gorman Point. It's the old traditional hunting place of the kangaroo, the Gorman. Because the Aboriginal people would push the kangaroos to the cliff face and pick out the biggest kangaroo to feed the neighbouring tribes themselves in that area. So Kangaroo Point had a lot of kangaroo grass that grows up on the top of that cliff area, and that kangaroo grass would be burned off traditionally at a certain time of the year to help the shoots come through. And when that revegetation comes through after the big storms, the big Torong, the suburb of Toowong, that's how it gets its name, from that little black bird, the Koyul Koku, the totem, the spiritual animal of that area of Toowong. And the reason for that is because the water comes down Mount Kutar. The place of Mount Kutar represents the native stingless bee. A little black bee, very important spiritual insect bee for the whole of that Mount Kutar area. So when the rain comes, the big muggera, the big storms, stormbird sings out, and the rain comes down and floods through the St. Lucia Toowong area. So when we hear that bird, we know that rain is coming from the west. We don't want to be caught in that lower country, in those lower areas. Yoronga represents sand. Yoronga or Yorongpa, the sandy country. The local tribe here is the Yorongpan people. Yorong representing the sand and Pan representing the country that they looked after. They were the original people. They met with old Finnegan and Parsons down at Oxley Creek, or known to us as Benarra, the place in 1824, 1825, when the first Finnegan and Parsons, the explorers, old John Oxley, made their way down this Brisbane River, and they met the Yorongpan people, my great-great-great-grandparents and ancestors of this country. So, Yagara country's from the Caboolture River in the north, right down to the Logan River, and then out towards the Great Dividing Ranges. Here in Australia, we had over 1,500 Aboriginal languages and dialects in this country. So the language I'm speaking to you today is the Yagara language, and I welcome you in that tongue to this country, to this land. And to most importantly, let the country know that we have visitors from all walks of life, all walks of stories, spirituality, and your ancestors will join also, no matter what culture, no matter what belief. If you feel that tingle in the back of your neck, that's the spirit of the land, the spirit of all of our ancestors, because today's a really good day. With all the stuff we've been going through, gathering is important, sharing is important, listening is important, and we can do that today together at this festival. So I'd like to welcome you in my language, calling out to the good spirit to join us. Calling out to the grandmothers and grandfather ancestors of all walks of life to join us with the wind, the Buran, the spirit, and guide us and give us a safe day and journey here in the celebrations in Highgate Hill on Dargan, the country. I'm going to finish off with a didgeridoo song for the good spirit and ease our way into the day and welcome you all in the totem spirit through that instrument as well. So Malata Dingari, welcome to you all and thank you.
Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. We're here at the Laura Street Festival, just doing some volunteer work. We've helped set up the EFTPOS with Square, set up a menu with the iPad, selling some treats to the festival at the Mediation Centre. Talk soon.